I want to spend some time making sure you understand the concepts around Project Server, and in conjunction with that, what a project management office is all about. First of all, what is Project Server? Well, in this course, we're really going to learn about how to use Project Professional 2013 to create project plans or schedules. And when you think about it, you have to save those schedules somewhere. So you create an MPP file and save it onto your hard drive or out onto a shared network. But at some point in an organization, there's going to be a need to consolidate all the projects and put them into one place and organize them by programs or portfolios and look at your project workload for the entire organization. Project Server really provides that functionality. So it's really a central repository for enterprise-wide projects, programs, and portfolios. So that when you're saving your plans, you're saving them into a project server environment that will store all of the organization's projects, programs, and portfolios. And then the nice thing about that is that people can access that information without using Microsoft Project Professional. So you can log on to Project Server, for example, using Internet Explorer, type in the URL of where that data is stored, and you can connect and you can look at project schedule information and other information about projects, whether it be project forms or risks or issues. And the nice thing about Project Server, it sits on top of SharePoint, so you get all the SharePoint functionality for collaboration too. The other thing that happens is that once you start assigning resources to projects in your project, that's great for you to be able to see the type of people that you need or other resources that you need for your project. But how are they being utilized across the organization? And how do you know whether that resource is available at all? So the other thing that Project Server does is that it serves as a centralized repository for enterprise-wide resources for capacity planning and workload management across the organization. So even before you assign a resource to a task, you can see what they're working on and if they're available on other projects. And then you can perhaps work with that resource manager to define what resources you get on your project. So it becomes a centralized repository and reporting tool on resources as well. Also, it's a team collaboration, leveraging full SharePoint functionality so you can record team discussions, keep track of action items, issues, risks, changes. You can have document management in there, and you can develop SharePoint parts to associate with your project. So very much a team collaboration tool. And then you can do business intelligence reporting and create dashboard across the enterprise-wide projects and for resources as well. So really when you think about Project Server, you're still going to be using Project Professional to create robust schedules, but you're just going to be saving them into a enterprise repository into this Project Server. And then other people like team members, resource managers, executives could log on and interface with that information and consume that information without using Project Pro. So this becomes a Project Server, sometimes referred to as Enterprise Project Management. When people are talking about Microsoft Project Pro, just make sure you understand that it's a client. And as a standalone client, it's really a desktop tool. But when you're connected to server, it becomes an enterprise project management tool, part of a structured project and portfolio management system. The other thing I just want to touch on briefly before we get into the tool is understanding what a PMO is, since many organizations are implementing project management offices or some type of a project management organization. And really, a PMO is a management structure that standardizes the project-related governance processes and facilitates the sharing of resources, methodologies, tools, and techniques. And this is put forth in the latest edition of the PMBOK. The responsibilities of a PMO can range from providing project management support functions to actually being responsible for the direct management of one or more projects. You can look at PMOs ranging from being more supportive to being more controlling or directive, depending on the control they have over projects. So when you think about it, a more supportive type PMO will have low control or influence over projects and possibly even compliance of methodology and tools being used. Controlling means that they have moderate control influence over projects, perhaps with a high control influence over the compliance of the methodology and the tools and techniques being applied. And directive, probably the strongest of the PMO types, means that you have high control and influence of projects and compliance. So as you think about how the PMO is going to work within your organization, certainly the system plays a big part of that, and a tool like Project 2013 can be part of what that PMO supports.